Ways to improve your sales performance as a reseller, as a, owning a business, all that stuff. Let us talk about it. Hey guys, Holland here from where the helicopter bear meets Papa Bear. It's the Helicopter Bear, and today we are going to talk about ways to improve your sales performance, or ways to make more sales as a reseller, as a person who owns your business, all of that fun stuff. But guys, if you are new here, do all the things with the buttons, and I have a bleach stain right here, but this is a very comfy thing for me. But back to what I was saying, if you're new here, do all the things with the buttons, hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all the things with the buttons. If you have any comments, everything, put it in the box things below. But let's get into this video, how to improve your sales performance. And of course, I have my handy dandy note cards because it helps me, go through all my stuff. And whether other YouTubers like to admit it or not, they probably have the same thing. Whatever. Okay, guys, let's get into this. So I'm gonna give five different things that over the years of reselling, but also having side businesses and everything, I've sort of thought about it and kind of compressed my learning into 5 different things that can help you improve your sales performances. So let's start with number one. If you've been on my channel for a while, I constantly mention these, and number 1 is, guys, pay attention to your stats and more stats. A lot of people do things without properly checking their stats, and to me, looking at your stats, and not just looking at your stats, but also understanding your stats is such a big thing. Such a big thing, because it's sort of like how they say history repeats itself. It's the same thing with your stats. Looking at your stats could help you repeat those same patterns. Those, if something is working for you and it's shown in your stats, that means go for it or figure out what you're doing and make it better. So guys, constantly look at your stats. For me, I am constantly looking at my stats. I'm looking at, what products sold the most, what product isn't selling, what type of shoe is right now, being the most popular for me. And that's how I go ahead and source all of my things, is because I'm looking at my stats constantly. And I mean, y'all know this. Crocs sell the most for me. Crocs sell the best for me. My stats, going into year 2 of selling on Poshmark and reselling, show Crocs as still being the number 1. So guys, constantly look at your stats. I use this cool app. I mean, Poshmark has its own app, and I'm pretty sure whatever you're doing, there's an app for it that shows your stats. Number two is something that I feel like I need a different word to say this, because in the resale world, it's not really it's not a competitor sport as it is in the regular business world. If you're selling a product, I mean, yes, it is, but no, not at the same time. Whenever you're doing a regular business, of course you have competitors. Say for instance, you're selling this one type of thing, you see your competitors down the road. When it comes to reselling, yes, you do have competitors, but not really, because your store kind of does its own thing, your closet does its own thing. But number 2 is pay attention to your competitors. And when I say competitors, take it as a loose grain of wording. I mean, more or less, pay attention to other people who are doing the same thing as you are doing, and if they're doing it well. I constantly, have other reseller friends that I'm constantly looking at what they're doing, looking at what they're selling, looking how they're selling things, looking how they're, taking photography, looking at how their descriptions are. And, I look at that and I also adapt it into sort of what I am doing. So if I see somebody's doing something perfectly amazing, you know, of course I go up to them and be like, hey, you're doing such an amazing job. I like how you're doing this. You know, I think I might try it. Maybe I might try it this way and that way. And it's sort of like, you know, it's sort of going to help you help you improve your sales performances, because why work, you know, harder when you can work smarter? While when somebody else has done what you're looking to do, why not just kind of look at that as a blueprint and, you know, revise it, make it better? You know, of course, don't be that person who's constantly like, hey, I'm taking credit for this new method that I invented, even though you got it from somebody else, or blah, blah, blah. You know, always share credit, because especially in this, you know, resale industry and stuff like that, we are constantly learning from each other. I'm pretty sure that's why some of y'all are watching my videos and, you know, watching this video right now, is because that's the whole point, is, you know, learning from other resellers. So number 3, we're going into what's really fun for me, especially if you have, you know, if you pay attention to your stats, if you pay attention to other people doing what, you know, what you're kind of doing. Number 3 is experimenting. You have got to constantly experiment on, you know, your sales formula, because I don't think just one sales formula is going to work, especially the way technology and with all these apps and the way everything is going. That's how some businesses fail, is because they literally have had the same sort of playbook for 20 years and they just refuse to adapt, and they refuse to experiment. Someone asked them like, hey, maybe you need to update your system. They're like, this has been working for us for 20 years. We don't want to do that. So guys, you know, like number 3, experiment, you know, experiment with like, you know, like the times that you list things, experiment with the times that you send offers, the experiment with like relisting. Like lately I've been relisting my entire closet, just experimenting with different things and experimenting with different times and stuff like that. So I've been relisting, I think, every 10 to 15 days. And because of that, it's actually been helping me get more sales, and it's actually been helping me improve my sales. So number 4 goes along with everything that I've talked about. Number 4 is keep track of things. Have yourself, you know, a system that you keep track of everything that you do. Me, for instance, I have a Google Docs or Google Sheets. Sorry, I have Google Sheets that has my entire inventory, and that has, you know, what type of, you know, brand it is, if it's, you know, male, female, unisex, boy, girl, what sizes I sell, and like, you know, if they're available, if they're sold, stuff like that. You know, I keep track of every single thing that I do. There's also apps to help you do that, of course. And I'll put some apps down below, especially, you know, if you're reselling for Poshmark and stuff like that. I'll put some apps to help you below. And number 5 is the most important one of all. Number 5 is patience. In the business game, in the reselling game, you know, it's all about patience. It's not a get rich quick scheme type of thing. So, you know, have patience, and, you know, believe in yourself and believe in your process. And, you know, once you buckle down your process, once you get it nice and tight, have patience that it will work. Because sometimes, like, for me, I like to do this thing that I play the slow burn. So a lot of, even if you look at my YouTube channel and stuff like that, it is rare for me to do like this week's haul type of videos. I usually do a lot of evergreen content that I know that it might, you know, start off as a slow burn, but content that I know that in years from now, it's still going to be accurate. In, you know, years from now, I try to make sure my content never goes out of date as much as I can. So that's why, you know, I make a lot of like kind of like analysis sort of videos, something that you can literally 2-3 years from now go back and look and see, okay, you know, the way he's doing everything hasn't changed. But guys, that's all I have for y'all today. If you're new here, do all the things with the buttons, hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. And guys, I really appreciate y'all for watching these videos. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.